Yeah, pause YouTube. How's it going, everybody? Have for y'all today the team builder for week 3 of PGBL season 2. Now this should be going up on January, so it should be our first official team builder of 2018, which means we're gonna have our first official draft league match tomorrow, which is kind of exciting. I'm hoping that we can start off 2018 with a W. However, though, we are facing my boy Chance the God, who is currently also undefeated in PGBL. We are both 2-0, so one of us will have a rough start to this year, and hopefully, rough start to 2018, and hopefully it will not be us, the Durham Druddigons. So if you guys are excited for this, make sure to hit that thumbs up button down below and let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about our team matchup and our team for this week. Now, if this is my first team builder you are seeing from me, I like to do it, or I've started doing it off the 3DS, so if you guys do like this and you're new to the channel, let me know in the comment section below. But this is how I do want to do future team building videos for like APA and the other league that I am joining in, which hopefully we can start drafting by the time this goes up, or I think like after New Year's is when we're going to start. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So the team preview is down below me. Now, as always, the top 6 Pokemon are the main 6 that I expect my opponent to bring. So the bottom 4 being Ursaring, Rotom, Heat, Ribombee, and Tentacruel are the 4 mons that I think don't have a good matchup in this game. Tentacruel really can't do much, and it's beat by a lot of our team. Ribombee super frail, and we have a lot of priority, and even with webs, it shouldn't be that big of an issue if he does want to bring it, because we have Prankster Defog with Klefki. Rotom Heat, I feel, has just a really terrible matchup. Like, we have Snorlax and we have Mega Diancie, which alone, those two can just really hinder not Ursaring, but hinder Rotom Heat. And then Ursaring is an Ursaring. I don't know why you would want to bring Ursaring against me, so not expecting that at all. But if you look at Tapu Koko and then you look at my team, back at Tapu Koko and back to my team, Tapu Koko can literally put me in a body bag. So that, in my opinion, is easily the scariest threat going into this battle. I have to be very careful with Tapu Koko. Also, Nidoqueen could be a little bit of a problem. Have to be very careful with that. Ferrothorn, I believe, is probably like the most bulky wall that's going to cause some troubles, even though we do have Infernape. But if we're able to get rid of that, then it'll make it a lot easier for the rest of our team members to potentially be able to sweep. Milk Tank on the low could be very, very terrifying. It just depends on what set he exactly brings, which I don't really know. And then Togekiss and Gardevoir. Honestly, I feel like Mega Gardevoir could be a little bit of a toss-up in this match. But then again, if he does bring it, it's going to be a very scary offensive mon, so I have to be careful around that. And Togekiss, I definitely feel, has a good matchup in this game, whether it's Scarf or like a bulky Defog set, or I've seen him run Specs before, so that could be pretty cool. But with that being said, alright, so a little technical difficulties. But the first team member of the Durham Druddigons for this week is going to be Samantha the Scolipede. Much like Tapu Koko to our team, Samantha does the exact same thing to the Camden Ursarings, because Koko drops us on our necks, but Scolipede can drop the Camden Ursarings on their neck as well. The only real thing stopping Scolipede is like a physically defensive Milk Tank, or Ferrothorn being at full HP, and I think Superpower still does like a solid 50-ish%, unless he's like max defense, max HP. So my game plan going into this match is just to weaken Ferrothorn enough to guarantee that Scolipede can knock it out with a Superpower, and if I'm able to beat Ferrothorn without having to rely on Superpower, that would be absolutely amazing as well, because after Superpowering, then I would be forced to switch out, because I would be at -1 attack and defense, and I don't really want that for my Scolipede in this match, especially because it is the main sweeper in this game. And I really didn't feel like I could have Sword Dance on this set. I felt like Protect 3 attacks was definitely our best route to go, because there's not really too much that I would be able to Sword Dance on, unless it was like a locked in Tapu Koko that's locked into like Dazzling Gleam or Hidden Power Ice. And Tapu Koko doesn't even need to run a choice spec set in this match. Like a Electrium Z set could be very scary with like Hidden Power Ice or just Dazzling Gleam for Zygarde. So yeah, I didn't really see much merit behind having Sword Dance here. And actually, I want to give a quick shout out to my front office homies. The newest addition, it's Wombo. He actually did help me out a majority with this team, so big shouts out to him. Shouts out to Shuckle King 87, Harris is awesome, Quinn, Mio, and hold on, I feel so bad about this. Mio and no, I think it was just Mio. It was either Mio or somebody else. I forget, but yeah, shouts out to them for helping me build this week's squad. So yeah, Scolipede definitely puts in a lot of work late game, and I'm hoping that this can just kind of break his team down or just sweep, essentially. Moving on to not pick number 2, but Pokemon number 2 here. We got good old Munchies, the Snorlax. Absolutely love Snorlax, man. And the important thing about Snorlax in this match is that this is realistically the glue that holds the entire team together, because this has to be my switch in to Tapu Koko, to Nidoqueen, to Togekiss, a backup switch in to Gardevoir, and a potential switch in to Rotom Heat, which is actually why I have Facade as opposed to something like Return or Frustration or even Body Slam, because if he's able to burn us with the Will-O-Wisp, then that's going to be absolutely amazing if he does have Will-O-Wisp on his Rotom, or if he brings the Tentacruel and he goes for Scald, we can potentially switch into a Scald and get burned. Or if he's got Thunder Wave on Miltank and Togekiss and he paralyzes us, then that's actually going to be really good, because then he's still boosting our Facades without him halving our attacks, so Fire Punch doesn't do as much damage to Ferrothorn. And speaking of Ferrothorn, depending on the EV spread that it is running, Fire Punch can actually clean to a KO Ferrothorn at +1, which is absolutely amazing. Or I can just get off a huge amount of damage with 2 Fire Punches, which is all I would really need to do for Scolipede to then come in, hopefully, and sweep. But the great thing about the EV spread on this Snorlax is that it comfortably switches into Adamant Max Attack Life Orb Nidoqueen, which I've seen him run physically offensive Nidoqueen before. It should be able to switch into Tapu Koko and live any 2 hits, even if it's like a Thunderbolt into a Z Thunderbolt or a Wild Charge into a Z Wild Charge. So that's going to be absolutely amazing as well. I can definitely see Snorlax putting in a lot of work in this match, because he doesn't have a good fighting type, although something like Trick Rotom is something I have to be very weary about, because that's very likely, like Choice Scarf Trick Rotom could definitely come just to be able to specifically shut down this set. So that is going to be a huge issue. Also, on the off chance that he does have something like Nature's Madness, I would much rather have an even HP stat as opposed to an odd HP stat. That way, once he does go for the Nature's Madness, he puts me at exactly half of my HP, activating my Figgy Berry, and then from there should be no way he knocks me out with Tapu Koko. So yeah, Snorlax very important in this matchup and can realistically sweep alongside Scolipede late game, or just be a consistent pivot mon to his offensive threats. Next off, we have Child's Play the Klefki here, and this is my best answer to Gardevoir. Honestly, this is my #1 check to Gardevoir. Because of Protect, there is no way that even a modest Gardevoir should be able to 2-hit KO us. And I was really up in the air of whether or not I wanted Toxic or I wanted Thunder Wave, and ultimately I feel like Toxic is probably a little bit better, because Thunder Wave would really only be for things like the Togekiss and the Gardevoir, as with Toxic, I can Toxic Tapu Koko, Rotom, Ribombee, and even Miltank, which is really good, and then on top of that, Togekiss and Gardevoir get Toxic as well. And then with Protect, we'll be able to rack up that toxic damage over time and gain back Lefty's recovery guaranteed on my Klefki, which is really good. Flash Cannon, of course, is a no-brainer in this match. He's got 4 fairy types, so Flash Cannon is very spammable, and if I can just catch Rotom Heat with a toxic, that would be absolutely amazing on its own right. So yeah, this set is kind of completely walled by Tentacruel, but again, I realistically don't expect Tentacruel in this game. It's not doing much, and even if he does bring it, I have more than enough ways to deal with it. So yeah, I definitely feel like Klefki should be a pretty good answer to his Gardevoir in this match. And then of course Defog is mainly there for rocks, spikes, and webs, which are all very likely to come because he's got Ferrothorn. I could definitely see Spikes Ferrothorn being a potential problem if he does want, excuse me, to bring that. So moving on to the next team member here. Next off, we have Mega Diancie here, which I think for future team builder videos, I'm going to try and have this as actual Mega Diancie, not regular Diancie, so you guys can see the exact EVs, not EVs, but the exact stats with the EV spread. So yeah, I'll try to implement that for next week's team builder if we bring Mega Diancie. But the cool thing about Mega Diancie in this match is that it is honestly a very scary offensive threat to his team. The only real thing that can safely switch into Mega Diancie is Miltank, which is another reason why I definitely believe he's going to want to run Miltank. But if he does bring Miltank for Mega Diancie, it's going to have to be especially defensive, so then that means that my Scolipede can hit it a little harder on the physical side, which is still going to be really good, honestly. But besides the Miltank, Mega Diancie with Diamond Storm, Earth Power, and Hidden Power Fire can realistically just nuke everything that the Camden Ursarings want to bring. I think this just about guarantees a 2-hit KO on everything, and if I'm not mistaken, this set was actually made by It's Wombo, the newest addition to the front office, so huge thanks to him for this one. But yeah, Mega Diancie, very, very scary in this matchup. Stealth Rocks are going to be absolutely amazing. We are running enough speed to outspeed a Guard. Is it Gardevoir? I believe we're running enough speed to outspeed Mega Gardevoir, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we should be able to outspeed that by 1 point, and then hit it with Diamond Storm on the physical side. So Mega Diancie, very scary offensive threat this match. Next off, we have Guerrero the Infernape. Again, another set that was made by It's Wombo. So huge thanks to him, already coming through with awesome sets for the first time being in the front office here. So yeah, now I personally at the beginning, I didn't like this set. Like, Choice Scarf didn't seem entirely too great in my opinion, but I thought about it and realized that Scarfed Infernape is actually so scary to his team. So along with Scolipede and Mega Diancie, Infernape just adds that extra little bit of offensive pressure to his team. In late game, this thing can come in and guarantee a 2-hit KO with the proper predictions against everything on his team. Gunk Shot absolutely bodies Coco, Togekiss, Ribombee, and Gardevoir. Fire Blast roasts the Ferrothorn and anything that's switching in if we are in Blaze range. Close Combat pretty much hits everything that's not the Fairy types or Nidoqueen and Tentacruel, and then we have Earthquake for Nidoqueen and Tentacruel, which don't safely switch into 2 of them. So yeah, again, with the proper predictions, this set definitely puts in a lot of work, and this should also be running enough speed to outspeed a potentially Scarfed Milk Tank, which I don't think is going to bring, but still, it's nice to be safe. Better to be safe than sorry. So yeah, really hoping that Infernape can put in a lot of work. If not, then this is going to be a nice way to kind of weaken his team for Snorlax or Scolipede late game to come in and potentially win. And then finally off, at this point, you guys saw that we don't have anything to stop Tapu Koko from just clicking Volt Switch, which is why we're going to be bringing Mr. Nice Snake here, the Zygarde. Now, the cool thing about this set is that we are Assault Vest Zygarde. I know that seems so weird and like kind of random, but hear me out here. Since we already have such a good offensive core between Scolipede, Mega Diancie, and Infernape, I felt like Zygarde 100% had to come to this game because it's our ground type. It's what stops Coco from just clicking Volt Switch if he does want to bring something like Choice Specs. And along with an Assault Vest set, we can actually tank Hidden Power Ice, go for 1,000 arrows into an extreme speed to guarantee knock out Tapu Koko, which could definitely come in handy. Or this also acts as a backup check to Mega Gardevoir because we can tank one Hyper Voice from full, eat a hit, go for Iron Tail into extreme speed, and knock out Gardevoir. So that's kind of the idea of Zygarde in the set, is just to kind of be a last ditch check to one of his offensive fairies that he could very likely bring. We are running enough speed to outspeed Jolly or Timid Max Speed Nidoqueen along with Timid Max Speed Rotom, because that's going to be absolutely amazing, being able to potentially revenge kill those and put them in a bit of an awkward scenario. Superpower is really only for the Ferrothorn. Now the thing about Superpower is that we're only doing about 30-ish% to Ferrothorn, but still any amount of damage that I get on Ferrothorn in the long run is going to help out my Scolipede to be able to sweep. Also, if Milk Tank has a Chople Berry, I can scout out for that by going for the superpower against Milk Tank and popping it, so my Scolipede and my Infernape don't have to worry about it potentially living one of the fighting type moves that I decide to go with against it. So yeah, that is basically the idea of this set. So this is going to be our squad for this week. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about it and what you think about our team matchup. And with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow with the actual week 3 battle, and later today most likely with a Wi-Fi battle. So thank you all for watching. Later.
No matter where you're at, I'm not here to make friends, it's time to attack and deplete your HP with a final smash. Don't make me turn around and pull a 6-foot hacks. 6 foot hacks. Yeah. 6 foot hacks. Yeah. 6 foot hacks.